Okay, this one's super interesting, but a little confusing. So, Miss Karen owns a truck. That truck was parked somewhere, and two brothers got into a fight. When they walked away from the fight, one of the brothers punched her truck. Smart. Which caused damage, and now she is trying to recoup those damages. There was a hearing previously, but they wanted more information, so she went and got additional quotes, things like that, and now they're back. And so Judge Webster is going to go through like the history of the case, but while she was doing that, I got really confused because one of the brothers has the same name as the father. In addition to that, the grandparents are here too, so there's a whole lot of people with the same names, but the youngest looking two, Cody and Colby, are the ones who are in the altercation, and the young one that is named Colby is the one that punched it. There's also a dad named. So the kid in the top left is the one who did the punching. The one in the middle at the top is the one who was in the fight with him. And dad is actually sitting next to the young kid. So is mom and grandparents.
The District Court of Greenwood County, Kansas. Case number 2023 SC5. Karen Miller and others versus Colby Lane Altus and others. This matter is set for small claims trial. It was continued at the request of the defendants. At our last trial setting, the defendants asked for a continuance to obtain counsel to discuss with counsel. As this is small claims, it was not to have counsel in court, but to discuss with counsel their rights, remedies, and defense. The court allowed them time to do that. The court also, at the respondent's request, afforded time to seek other authorities on the amount of damages being sought. They requested at least 3 estimates. We discussed how this was not a request of an insurance company, that a policy requires 3 estimates, but whether it was a court of law that didn't require a set number of evidence in order to determine the amount of restitution. Restitution seems to be the only issue at hand.
I think one of the main issues on why restitution was an issue is, as you can see at the bottom, the demand for judgment she put was $2,500. But if you look at the paragraph at the top, when she itemized it out, it barely equals 1,000. So she forgot to include in the top the expense for the labor. So that made it a little confusing.
As Miss Miller, in her petition, claimed that one of the defendants, the young Mr. Altus, Cody Altus, was in an altercation with Colby Altus. And when the parties were separated, Colby jumped up, that would be the younger of the 2 Altuses, jumped up and punched the 2003 Chevrolet 2500 Silverado belonging to Karen Miller, causing extensive damage, requiring parts, labor, paint, supplies that she wished to have completed by Flint Hills Customs, Inc. Colby, his father Cody, and his grandparents with whom he resides and or legal guardians also advised that they would take care of the damages. However, none of the 4 ever did. And as a result, Miss Miller reported the incident to the Woodson County Sheriff where the damages took place. And that was on August 30th of 2022, 3 months to the day after the damage reportedly occurred. In total, the plaintiff, Miss Miller, is demanding judgment for $2,555.97 plus post-judgment interest costs and any additional damage, fees, costs, or other expenses necessary for collection. So here we are today for the sole purpose of determining whether the court should approve the estimate provided at the last hearing by the body shop of the plaintiff's choice. She said that that body shop had done work for her in the past. They were satisfied with that work and therefore wanted that body shop to do the work this time around, for which they were charging at Flint Hills Customs, Inc., a total of $2,556.97. I see that Ms. Miller has brought in another estimate by Collision Center of El Dorado. I see she has brought in another estimate from Elite Auto Body. So that's the three estimates she has provided, these two plus the one from Flint Hills. And at this time, Ms. Miller, this is your case. What else do you want to add, if anything?
I don't have anything except for, I don't know if it matters. You said the truck was a 03, it's a 13.
I don't think I was reading from your petition. Let me double check. Okay, you did say, then I would note that the small claims petition does allege that he punched the 2013 Chevrolet 2500. Okay, anything else?
No.
Who do you have with you there today?
Chandler Cook, the owner of Flint Hills Customs.
Very well. So in addition, she's brought in a live witness to testify to the cost. And at this time, are you moving to admit the Elite Auto Body estimate and the Collision Center of El Dorado Auto Body estimate, Ms. Miller?
Yes, I was just trying to be nice since they kept saying they wanted more estimates. So I went and got, there's actually 3 more that you have, 2 from the same place and 1 from a different place, but
Why
I was
do you
just trying.
why do you see 2 from the same place?
The collision center, there's 2. There was one that says repair and one that says replace.
Oh, okay, I do have both of those. Have you made these available to the defense?
No, I asked Missy what to do and she told me just to email them to her.
All right. So you're moving to admit all 3 of these reports in addition to your prior report as evidence?
Yes.
Okay. Any objection to that from the defendants? Oh, and I didn't mention the defendant includes Tanya Noel, the mother, and is she still here with us? She was here last time. For the record, let's identify the parties that are present. We have Karen Miller and Rodney Miller, the plaintiffs. We have Colby Altus, the minor, Cody Altus, the father of the minor. Are Roger and Marcia Altus both here still? Yes?
Yes.
Good. And then Tanya Noel, mother of the minor, is she here? She was here at the last hearing. She does not appear today. All right, so again, do the defendants have any objection to the court's admission of these documents? Let's put those on the screen, Missy, let them see them since they weren't provided to them previously. That's a cumbersome job. I've asked of Missy, so it'll take her a bit of time to do that. Oh, there she is. Okay, I believe, Missy, we already have the prior exhibit of Flint Hills as plaintiff's exhibit 1. If we don't, it will be so named, and this will be exhibit 2. Can you folks see that? Do we need to make that a little bigger, maybe?
Yeah, it's pretty small.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm having a hard time straining to see it. I can see it, but if you can make it any bigger, that'd be any bigger.
Somebody says.
And the
Yeah.
total is on page 2.
Okay, all right, so. And I'll let you folks have as much time as you need to look at that, but it shows a total, grand total of, including tax, of $2,195.54. But I didn't have it up there long enough to tell me exactly what they're going to do. If there's one of you that has an email available, we could email those to you also. But they're talking about a rear door outside and so forth. Some hazardous.
Gotta get bigger for me.
I'm sorry, what was that? Who said what?
I was talking to my grandson. I have trouble reading it. It's still pretty small.
All right, well, let's, before, we haven't admitted it yet. I'm just trying to get you identified with the exhibit. Maybe we'll
Yes,
address-
ma'am.
maybe we'll. I don't know, Missy, if there's any physical way you can blow that up for the grandfather or not. That would be Roger Altus. There we go. All right. This will be exhibit 2. We're still on exhibit 2, right? Let me know when you're ready to proceed to the next portion. And remind me, grandparents, are you legal guardians?
No,
No,
All right, okay, so then I think you're here more as non-participants. You may be called by Cody and his father being responsible for him as a minor. But I don't think you can take charge. Well, I know you can't take charge of the case because you're not attorneys, which attorneys aren't allowed in these proceedings. And so Colby and his father are the ones that need to be able to address these documents. So Mr. Colby and Mr. Cody Altus, can you see these documents?
Yes, I can.
All right, are you ready for us to proceed, to move further down the page?
I'm having a hard time hearing.
All right, well, are you where you need to come to the courthouse then? Because if we can't do these by Zoom if you don't have your equipment to see and hear, but we have the courthouse available.
There we go. I can hear you fine now.
Okay, you must be running it through your car.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sometimes that won't work if I keep picking up my echo, but we'll see. Okay, so are you ready to, can you see that exhibit? And are you ready for Missy to scroll so you can see it further down the page?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Missy, if you would, please. And tell me when you're ready for the next page.
I'm ready.
Okay. All right, do you need to see that exhibit any further? Colby or
No,
Cody?
ma'am.
All right, is there any objection to admitting that? Oh, are there more pages to that? Go ahead, Missy, I'm sorry. Okay, is this exhibit, okay, so that, what you just saw, exhibit 2 is called preliminary estimate, and it has handwritten on the side repair, indicating that that's what they would charge at CCE if they were to repair the damaged parts. And then Missy, you're ready to show us exhibit 2, same facility, but if they replaced parts. This would be exhibit 3, I'm sorry. All right, are we ready to scroll along? I don't want to rush you, but you just
Yes,
tell me,
ma'am.
if you folks would just tell me when you're ready, we'll move it at your direction. Okay, so Missy, we can move it further down the page. Mr. Altus, I'm sorry, you're muted. If you were saying something, I wasn't hearing you.
I'm ready.
Oh, okay, thank you, sir.
Mhm.
And here's the next page.
If they put over your court. So great for them.
All right, grandparents, you cannot be in the room if you're going to keep giving advice and directions. I have already removed you as parties, finding you didn't have responsibility of the juvenile. Therefore, you're not, even though you're named as defendants, I have removed you as responsible parties. So you can't sit there unless, well, you just can't sit there because even as licensed attorneys, you can't be giving advice in small claims. All right, now guys, am I going to have him turn the phone and show you leave the room? I don't want to be difficult, but you can't be difficult either. Cody, unmute.
Sorry, I can't see myself, so I don't know where it's pointing at.
Cody, I need you to unmute. You're in court. I need to be able to have you unmuted.
I am unmuted.
All right, now you are. Now you are, and let's stay that way. Turn your camera, Cody, so that I can see that your grandparents aren't sitting there slipping you notes. And
Colby, turn your
This
camera.
way?
all right, very good. Now turn it the other way. Turn it the other way some more. Some more, please. I need to see what's going on your right side. Okay. Now I
You
realize.
see that?
I realize they could still be sitting in front of you, slipping you notes and mouthing, but they better not be. They'll be in contempt of the court if they do. You've got your dad, he's your legal guardian. He's here to assist and direct as he needs to. All right, go ahead.
All right, Judge,
Yes,
this estimate that I'm seeing right now, is this for replace or repair?
are your grandparents in the room with you?
No.
All right. This is, number 3 is for the replacement. So Cody Altus, as the adult, do you have any questions or comments you want to point out about these exhibits? And if you need to put back up again, feel free to say so.
The only question that I have is what direction are we going to? Are we going to repair it, or are they wanting to replace, or what? Because there's two different estimates for the same shops.
Right, right. I saw that too, and I'm not sure. Miss Miller, I'm gonna,
Yes.
are you wanting to ask Miss Miller those questions, Mr. Altus?
Yes. Are
You
you wanting
can.
to?
Let's put her under oath if she's going to be your witness. Please raise your right hand. I'll need to see it. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Altus, and ask her the questions you have.
Okay, my question is you're wanting to get it fixed. So are you wanting to repair, or were you wanting to replace the panel?
I am wanting to replace, like I told you, the first court. I do not, well, we do not want any bondo on it, and the repair estimate is for bondo.
Okay.
And I'll follow that up. So is the Flint Hills to replace the damaged panel?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Anything else from anybody? Colby, anything you want to talk to your dad about before we proceed, or talk to the court about?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Anything from anyone? All right. Hearing nothing. It has been determined and undisputed that the young man, in his apparent anger towards his circumstances, took it out on Miss Miller's truck as it was there available and didn't fight back. The only question is, was Miss Miller's estimate that she brought last time fair and reasonable? And she's brought in the witness who made the estimate, although she didn't call him to give any additional update or specifics. But she did bring in these other estimates. And I don't put much stock in the bondo one because she wants her truck back in a condition like it was before, and the bondo could fall out, as she says. And so that makes sense to this court at least. And all the others are for replacing the damaged panel. I have Collision Center of El Dorado, $3,336.67. I have Elite Auto Body, also of El Dorado, at $2,195.54. Then I have Flint Hills at $2,556.97. It's not unusual to have each estimate be a little different, even to be a lot different for the same types of work. But it looks to me like the body shop that the Millers want at Flint Hills, one that they say they know and trust from experiences before, seems reasonable. And so I am going to order that the defendant, Cody Altus, and his father be as the adult responsible for him and parent, make payment of $2,556.97 to Karen Miller and Rodney Miller. I will award post-judgment interest, which means the longer this drags out, if you don't get it paid promptly, then you can end up at interest at the legal rate 12% interest costs. How much were your court costs? How much, Miss Miller? I think you may have told me that before, maybe not. Your final,
Altogether it was 97.50. It was 30 for subpoenaing them, and then 67, I think, for the court, 67.50 to file it. And then it was 15 to subpoena Tanya and 15 to subpoena the others.
all right, I will award court costs totaling $97. So. Okay, it looks like that comes combined total of $2,653.97. I don't know if Altus's have any kind of insurance that will pay for that. I would question if you do, since it was a willful act, but I don't know. I have granted judgment. Now, Miss Miller, you're going to be responsible yourself. I can only give you judgment, and you can enforce that through legal means available, and that will be your responsibility. I can participate somewhat that if it isn't paid and they don't participate in the filling out and completing of the debtor summary that you send to them, they can be in contempt and brought back. And of course, you have garnishment powers and so forth. And if they feel like you're trying to garnish some money that's not subject to garnishment, I can end up back in the case again, but it will be Miss Miller and Mr. Miller. I keep saying Miss Miller because she's the spokesman for the two of you, but it's both your truck, you're both the plaintiffs. And as I said, the grandparents, I understand they provide lodging for the young man, but they're not legally responsible. And Mr. Cody Altus, you agree with that, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you're on the hook. And I'm also going to hold the mother responsible. She didn't show back up today, but Tanya Knoll can help in paying that too. She was here when we set this. Ms. Miller, you will be responsible for filing a journal entry. Those forms are available through the Kansas Judicial Center online. The clerk may have some of those, I don't know, but you'll have to e-file that, and I will approve that provided you complete it consistent with the judgment today, and make sure you get a copy of that to Colby and Cody.
Okay.
Is there anything else from anyone else?
So do we pay when the body?
Okay, now you've got your hand over your mouth, so I need to identify you. You're Colby Altus.
Colby
Go ahead,
Altus.
sir. Mhm.
So how are we going to pay for the damage? Is it going to be through legal documentation or just through the body shop?
Well, I'm not going to make a specific order on that.
Okay.
Other than well, let me ask you, Miss Miller, do you have a problem with them sending that to the body shop directly when the work is done, or do you want them to send it to you?
I really don't care. I mean, I'd like to know how long they think so I can get with Chandler to get it in. I'm not going to give him something to do if it's going to take forever for them to pay, or if they decide they're not going to pay and we have to go back through this again.
Well, I will answer your question this way, Mr. Colby Altus. My judgment is to Karen Miller, not the body shop. So how you pay it, if she wants to work something out with you, that's fine. But my judgment is to Karen Miller.
Okay.
But that's another good question. All right. Okay. If there's
So, sorry,
no, go
Karen,
ahead.
do you want to just reach out personally, or how do you want to do that?
That's fine. I mean, I think Rod has I don't think he has your number. He has your grandpa's, but we can come by, and if, like I said, I don't know if you plan on having to make some payments, or if you have it all,
Okay.
yeah, we can, like I said, swing by or whatever's easiest.
Alrighty.
All right, folks, thank you all for participating in an appropriate manner, and we will be excused at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Court is adjourned.